Friends, this video lecture is a part of Vidyasagar School digital learning program. Today we continue our chapter second, metal and non-metal. Basically, today lecture is completely based on physical and chemical properties of metal and non-metal. We compare different characteristics of metal and non-metal, how they are differ in their physical and chemical characteristics. So first of all, we discuss about the physical properties. You can see here I made a comparative table here. I enlist some of the properties like physical stats. As you know, all the metals are having solid appearance, while in case of non-metals, they are exist in solid, amorphous solid. There is a type of solid, crystalline and amorphous. So metals are generally crystalline, while non-metals are generally amorphous solid, and mainly they are present in a gaseous states. Along with the exception, there is a bromine which exists in a liquid form. In case of metal, there are two exceptions. One is mercury and another is gallium. Both are used for pyro measurement. That means they are used in thermometer to measure the body temperature or some body temperature of our vessels. मरकरी जो है कम टेम्परेचर के बॉडी टेम्परेचर को मेजर करता है और गैलियम जो है इंडस्ट्रियल बड़े बड़े वेसल्स होते हैं जहाँ पर आयरन को उनको मेल्ट किया जाता है उनके टेम्परेचर को मेजर करता है बिकॉज दैट्स बॉइलिंग पॉइंट इज टू मच हाई. Next one is melting and boiling points. Metals are generally having high melting and boiling point except gallium and cesium. गैलियम के केस में ऐसा है जैसे आप इसे हाथ में लोगे इसे आप अपने पाम पर रखते हो because of our body it undergo melting, while in case of non-metal they are generally having low melting point, but there is again an exception, that is diamond. It is an allotrope of carbon, which is highly which is having very high melting point because of its arrangement of carbon in three dimension structure. Next one is density. If we compare, so metals are generally having higher density as compared to non-metal. We also know the examples of such elements which are having very high density. These are iridium and osmium. Come to the next, that is fourth, malleability and ductility. So as we know, the definition of malleability and ductility, the ability of metal to convert into thin sheets when they are beaten with the help of hammer. It is called malleability, while the ability of metals to convert into thin wires, that is called ductility. So metals are good malleable and good ductile. While in case of non-metal, they are brittle. We can't form a non-metallic sheet and wires. Okay, carbon never undergo formation of wire. आपने कभी कार्बन के वायर नहीं देखे होंगे, but you can see the wire of copper, iron, aluminium, okay, etc. Platinum wire is also there. So metal are good ductile while non-metal will not. Next one is conductivity. We see metals are good conductor of heat and electricity because of presence of unpaired electrons, number of unpaired electrons, because they are having free charge carriers. While in case of non-metal, it lack number of free electrons. That's why they are poor conductor of heat and electricity. For example, carbon. But there is again an exception here, that is allotrope of carbon, that is graphite, which are generally used to prepare electrode, is a non-metal which is conductive in nature. Next one is luster. All metals are having metallic luster. They are having shining surface. For example, silver, gold. That's why they are used to prepare ornaments, jewelries. Okay. While in case of non-metals, they generally do not have metallic luster. They do not shine at all. But there is an exception also, iodine. Iodine is found in our lab in form of pellets, spherical pellets, and they are generally shining violet color. Okay. Next property is sonorous. That means sound producing property. If a metal is beaten with the help of a hammer, then it produces sound. They generate sound. That's why they are called sonorous. While non-metal will not. कभी लकड़ी को पीट के देखना आवाज आएगी क्या? कम आएगी. मेटल के साउंड जो है अलग होता है, जैसे कि स्कूल की बेल. When it beaten by hammer, it produce sound. Next is your hardness. How we can compare the hardness of metal and non-metal? So generally metals are hard except group first element. These are sodium, potassium. Sodium and potassium are so soft that they can cut with the help of knife. Okay, they are also exception of density. They are having very low density, and because of that, they can float over the surface of water. Clear. Come to the next. That is non-metal. They are generally soft, but there is an exception. That is diamond, which is comparatively hard because of its three-dimensional arrangement of carbon atoms. It form a compact structure. Now it is time to compare the chemical properties of metal and non-metal. The first one is reaction with the oxygen. As we know, whenever a metal is react with the oxygen to give metal oxides. Yes or no? So basically, this table includes a variety of oxides that are formed when a metal reacts with the oxygen. These are maybe basic, acidic, amphoteric oxides. As similar, non-metal can also react with the oxygen to form a non-metallic oxide. But generally, non-metallic oxides are acidic, while metallic oxides are basic or alkaline. There is another categories of oxide also there. These are amphoteric and neutral oxides. Okay. In examination, examiner will ask about examples of amphoteric oxides, reaction involved by the amphoteric oxides. So you can see here, generally metals form basic oxide and non-metal form acidic oxide. Okay, अब यहाँ देखिए. Now next one is aluminum and zinc, which form amphoteric oxides. Metal of most of the metal oxides are insoluble in water, and if they dissolve in water, they will give basic. Similarly, after dissolving acidic oxides in water, they will give acidic solution. That means pH of that solution is less than 7. We discuss it about in second chapter, that is acid base and salt. Come to the next property, that is reaction with the water. Whenever metal react with the water, it always gives metal oxide and hydrogen gas or metal hydroxide. So you can see here metal react with the water to give metal oxide or metal hydroxide. Along with the hydrogen gas, non-metal are generally do not react with the water. Next, if whenever metal is react with the acid, you can see here whenever metal react with the acid, it release colorless, odorless gas with burn with the pop sound, that is hydrogen gas, while non-metal do not react. Next one is these all reactions are not so important, but first three reactions are so important. You have to learn as such. You have to draw these both the tables in your notebook, so they are so important from the point of examination view. Come to the next. I elaborate all the reactions which I discuss in the chemical property table one by one. So first reaction is what happen if a metal burn in the air. That means reaction of metal with the oxygen. Okay, so there is very interesting reaction. You can see here. Whenever magnesium is react with the oxygen to give MgO, there is a reaction that we will discuss in chapter number first also. There is a very interesting fact about the magnesium ribbon. Magnesium is found in a form of ribbon. Okay, so if we have to burn this magnesium ribbon, then first we have to clean the outer surface of this magnesium ribbon with the help of sandpaper. Why? Because magnesium is highly reactive and it deposited a neutral layer over the surface of magnesium. So we have to first remove this neutral oxide layer. Then after that, that magnesium ribbon undergo burning. Okay, so this is all are about oxidative process, because we know burning, combustion is a kind of oxidative process. Basically, whenever magnesium is react with the oxygen, reaction with the oxygen, that is combustion or burning. It burn with the dazzling sound. जैसे फुलझड़ी जलती है ना दिवाली पे, dazzling sound, that is called dazzling sound. This gives basic oxide, that is magnesium oxide. Okay, come to the next. We have another example, that is copper. Copper can also be burned or undergo combustion with oxygen and gives cupric oxide. One more important thing, the color of the copper is brown and the compound which is formed, that is copper oxide, is black in color. That is another backside NCERT question. So you may uh, write this equation also. Next one is burning of aluminum will give the amphoteric oxide, that is Al2O3. Now there is a question arise in our mind, what is the correct definition of amphoteric oxide? So amphoteric oxides are those oxide which can react with the acid as well as base. जो एसिड के साथ और बेस के साथ दोनों के साथ रिएक्ट कर सके उन्हें आप एम्फोटेरिक ऑक्साइड बोलते हैं। और उनकी रिएक्शन जो है एसिड और बेस के साथ, ये भी काफी इंपॉर्टेंट है एग्जामिनेशन में क्या सकती है। So what is the definition of amphoteric oxide? Oxide which can react with the acid as well as base. Alcohol amphoteric oxide. For example, aluminum oxide, zinc oxide. You can see here the reactions of the aluminum oxide with the acid will give aluminum chloride and water. As similarly, it may also react with the NaOH, that means sodium hydroxide, that is a base, and gives sodium aluminate along with the water. Okay. Now the reaction of the metal with the water. Metal may react with the water slowly, but the reactivity order is different or vary along with the metal. Some of the metals are so reactive that they can react with the even cold water, while some of the metals are so non-reactive or so less reactive that they can react with only streams or warm water. So we have all the examples of these. You have to learn as such. Metal react with water to give metal oxide and hydrogen gas is a common reaction. You can see the example. Yes, potassium is highly reactive element which occupy the topmost portion in a reactivity series. Okay, so when it reacts with the water, that obviously cold water will give KOH along with the hydrogen along with the heat. That means the reaction of sodium and potassium that are highly reactive with water is a kind of exothermic process and will release enormous amount of heat, and that burn, that means meet the ignition point of that hydrogen. That's why this hydrogen gas start burning. Okay, yes, you can see here. So sodium and potassium are highly reactive and can react with the cold water as well, and their reaction is highly exothermic also. Come to the next. देखो cold लिखा हुआ है. We have another example in the sequence, that is of calcium. Calcium react with the water to give calcium hydroxide and hydrogen gas, but the water is used here is a normal water. It's a normal water. Come to the next. Magnesium. We can also take example of aluminium, magnesium, etc. Aluminium can react with water to give aluminum oxide and hydrogen gas. Now the important thing is aluminum is react with only steam water. Iron, steam. So what we observe, that sodium and potassium are highly reactive. These two are highly reactive, and because of their high reactive order, they react with the cold water. Calcium react with the normal water, and aluminum and iron react. They are least reactive, slow reactive, so they react with the steam. Come to the next. Action of steam over metal. How water react with the metal in a laboratory. So you can see here there is a thin wire of the metal sample are put inside this test tube. Okay, and we soak a glass wool in water so we can generate this steam. We heat up this glass wool so that water can convert into the steam. That steam is passed over this metallic wire or sample, and there is a metal oxide that is comes out along with the along in the form of what in the form of a gaseous phase to through the delivery tube here. Yes. So it magnesium oxide is remains along with this wire, and a gas which produced when this stream is reacted with the, yes, you can see all the chemical reaction once again. There is always a production of hydrogen gas. Okay. You can see here there is a production of hydrogen gas. Yes. This is a hydrogen gas. This is again hydrogen gas, hydrogen gas, hydrogen gas, and hydrogen gas. So that hydrogen gas is delivered from this delivery tube. Yes, this hydrogen gas is delivered through this delivery tube to the next container. So hydrogen gas is comes and, yes, goes to occupy the top places in this test tube in the form of bubbles. These bubbles are containing hydrogen gas. These bubbles are made up filled with the help of formed by hydrogen gas. You can see here. This is H2 gas. So it is a basic way that how we react this metallic wire with the steam. Come to the next. What happens when an acid is react with the metal? As we know, it releases hydrogen gas and form a salt. This is basic reaction, and we have an example here. HCl is acid, while sodium is a metal. But it will give obviously NaCl, that is salt, and hydrogen gas. What happens if a metal is non-metal is a react? Metal react with the salt solution. So there is a kind of displacement reaction that occur. What happens if you have aqueous solution that filled inside a test tube, and if you put iron nail in it, then see the observation. Then what we observe that the blue color of the copper sulfate aqueous copper sulfate solution get converted into greenish color solution, that is iron sulfate. Yes, there is a pictorial you can see on your screen. There are two test tubes which are shown in your figure. First contain the aqueous copper sulfate solution, while the second is seen after some time. If you put aqueous copper sulfate solution is a green, is a blue color, dark blue color or sky blue color. If you put an iron nail in it, there is a displacement reaction will occur that's shown on your screen. Iron is more reactive than copper, so it displaces this copper, okay, and convert into the iron sulfate and yes, that ferrous iron sulfate and copper metal. That copper metal is deposited over the surface of this iron nail, while ferrous sulfate is also known as green vitriol, and because of its greenish appearance the solution becomes green. So this is all are about the part of activity that is already shown in your textbook. On to the next, we conclude displacement is reactions are generally or completely basically the principle of displacement reaction is based on reactivity series that's shown on your screen. You can learn this reactivity series here. All the blue colors zone elements are generally highly reactive. They are classified as highly reactive. For example, potassium, sodium, these are highly reactive elements. These are the top two reactants which are highly reactive, and the middle one are moderately reactive. Hydrogen is a reference element, while the uh, elements which are lying in a orange zone, they are least reactive. That means they are generally non-reactive towards the most of the acids or mineral acids. For example, copper, mercury, silver, and gold. Okay, so this reactive series is a basic principle, provide the basic knowledge about the how they react with the water, how they react with the other reactions, how they perform their displacement reactions. So reactivity series is so important. In examination, one mark question may come in form of that following given elements you have to arrange in increasing order of their reactivity or decreasing order of their reactivity. You have to learn this reactivity series as such. By the trick कनक मांगे आलू जितना फिर प्रभु है राम क्यों आगे आऊं. This is the basic trick to learn this reactivity series. Yes, the reactivity decreases from top to bottom inside this series. Yes, hydrogen is a reference element. The element just lying above the hydrogens can displaces the hydrogen when they react with the steam or water, while the elements which are below the hydrogen will never displaces hydrogen when they react with the water or steam. So this is all about today lecture. We have a worksheet here. So we have to complete this worksheet. I hope you all saw this worksheet already because this video lecture is a homework of chapter of dated 8 May and today is about 13 May. So I think you already done this worksheet. If you got any interact with any doubt, you can ask in our comment section. So first question is basically based on the reactivity series. Arrange following metals according to their reactivity. So first of all, the most reactive element is sodium. Come to the next question number second. Which out of the following displaces the hydrogen to get when react with the water? So the elements which are lying just above the hydrogen can displace the hydrogen from the water and the steam. Question number third, what is amphoteric oxide? So basically amphoteric oxide are those oxides which can react with the acid as well as base. And we have examples, lot of examples. So aluminum oxide is a common example. Along another is zinc oxide. Question number four, name the gas evolved when the metal reacts with the acid, that is hydrogen, which burns the pop sound. Question number fifth, give two examples of each acidic, basic, neutral, and amphoteric oxide. So you have to solve this question and give the answer according to slides that we already show you. This is all about today lecture. Have a nice day. Thanking you.